What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Ace Metaphor, and this is the Ace of Hearts podcast. And we covered a very important topic today, and I'm gonna jump right into it. As you know, if you got any questions that you want to ask me, all you got to do is go to the link in my Instagram bio. I will bring you on camera live, and you can ask me questions. All the guests that's in the guest room, I need you guys to do me a favor. If your camera is not on, I will remove you from the guest room. Only reason is because I can only have 12 people in the guest room. All right. And if you are not prepared to ask questions, do not feel bad, but go watch me on YouTube. Okay. But if you are in the guest room, that's only for people that want to ask questions. All right. So let's get this popping. How to know if a man truly loves you. All right. I get asked this question so much, so I'm going to cut straight to the chase. What does love got to do with it? What does love have to do with it? And I want you guys to understand that point. And I want you to ask yourself that question. Tina Turner made a perfect song about it. What does love actually have to do with this? The question is not whether or not you feel he loves you. The question is, are you seeing the things to display that he loves you? And the reason you are asking me this question, how do I know if my man really loves me, is because there's a lack of evidence, things you can feel, taste. Well, not taste. Y'all nasty. Y'all don't need to be tasting shit. Okay. Your senses are tingled by it. The thing is, you're not a mind reader. I'm not either. So I can give you, when people ask me this question, I'll be thinking like, I guess I could give you some philosophical answer as to how you can know a man truly loves you. But all the things I will give you are tangible things you can prove, you can see, and there's evidence of. You can tell a man loves you by the way he treats you. See how the language of love is spoken through actions. If this man is respectful, if this man is considerate, compassionate, if this man understands that you are a woman, okay? You are a woman and he is a man, and he respects those differences. Matter of fact, he embraces those differences, and he understands that the way he may communicate with you has to be different than the way he may communicate with his boys. He assigns you that honor, just like the Bible talks about, as the weaker vessel. All right. And when I mean by weaker, I don't mean weaker, like weaker. That's just what the Bible say. If you got a problem with that, take it up with God. The Bible say that. I guess not weaker in the, you get what I'm saying, but it is displayed to the respect he has for your sacrifices and your commitments to this relationship. It is shown through discipline, him being able to show restraints when it comes to loving, choosing, picking. You see what I'm saying? This is how you can tell if somebody loves you. It is transfused through the way he loves himself. And all of what I'm saying is things you can say, you can see. The problem is sometimes you guys are not seeing these things. And when there's an absence of actual tangible evidence and showy displays, right? Then what you have is guesswork. A person that truly loves you will take the guesswork out of your relationship. They just really would. It wouldn't be no having to figure out where their heart and their brains are, because you'd see it. You don't have to know where their loyalty lies because they show you. But when you start to guess, it's because that person's actions are failing. Let me tell you this. You guys can be in perfectly healthy relationships with a person that don't tell you, I love you every day. Now, I get y'all want to hear it every day. And fellas, we want to hear that shit too. You ain't going to tell me you love me? Are you going to just leave the house without my kiss? You know how we be like, man, give me a kiss before you leave the house. So we like that too. But honestly, let's be honest. You feel love, yo. Like you feel it. It's something you just know exists based off of that person's, the way they look at you. You know, it's the time they choose to spend with you. It's all those things all wrapped up together. So what I want to do is I'm going to field you guys' questions. Now, listen, I'm getting rather proficient at this. All right. So I got people in the studio. If you do not have your camera on, or you do not want to ask me a question, or if I'm looking at your ceiling fan, I'm kicking you out. Not because I don't like you, but because we can only have 12 people, and people want to be in this room to ask me questions. So if it doesn't look like you're paying attention, you get kicked out. But you can watch me on YouTube. But if you're in the StreamYard room ready to ask me a question, all right, you got to be ready. Otherwise, I want to make space for people to actually have questions. Sound good? So who's going to be my first person? Who got a question? Now, listen, one more thing. Like I said, because I'm getting real good at this. Brief questions, you guys. Brief questions. And then if I need context, I'll obviously get context. So let's do this. Leela ain't turning on her camera. Leela, you got to turn on your camera, girl. All right, so who got the first question? Raise your hand. It ain't a lot of people raising their hand. Who got the first question? All right, let's do it. Jasmine, talk to me. What's up?
Okay, so what if you basically everything you explained you had in a man? So basically, I was married. I was dating my guy for about 5 years, and then we decided to get married 6 months, and it went down the drain. But like all of the love was there, like all of the attention, the affection, like everything that I wanted in a husband was there. So it ended abruptly, and then we started arguing and stuff happened. So at what point, if he's not trying to give it 100%, in the marriage, because it's one thing to go from having all that to not having it anymore. So it's like you have to kind of give up, but it's like, I'm just saying, like I don't have to
Are
see
you
two
are
people.
you are you are you two still married?
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been married?
A year.
You've been married a year. Okay. And these problems just surfaced after you got married, or there were things prior to?
Basically, some of the same similar issues were popping up before we were married, and then it dragged into the marriage when we started arguing. But he was walking on this a good path for a while, and then so it was kind of like, oh, we took a hit. So it's like, okay, that's the first thing I'm going to run back to, rather than having something more positive to lean on, and. So
So the answer to my question is the things that happened that you were disgruntled about in the relationship were happening prior to the relationship.
right,
I mean, prior to the marriage,
right,
correct?
that's true.
How long how long were you guys dating prior to getting married?
I would say on and off a good 5 years.
On and off.
Mm-hmm.
On and off.
Right, on and off. That's
And now you have a on and off marriage.
basically off right now.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
And you're hoping or thinking it may turn back on or turn back
Yeah,
because
because
this
it's like I missed the love feeling. So it's like, how do you know? Like I knew, but it was that really love if the person was not willing to stay and kind of fight it out.
well the culture of you guys' relationship is on and off, correct? That's the culture, correct?
I guess so.
You said you were on and off for 5 years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The culture of the relationship that you have right now is the culture you had before you got married. The problems that you had then are the problems you have now, just probably exacerbated. They're
Mm-hmm.
big.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my suggestion to you, and this is for everybody watching, not you specifically, but
Mm-hmm.
everybody watching. That marriage is not a band-aid. It is not a magical potion that now you put a ring on somebody's finger or they put it on yours. They're going to magically turn into something that they weren't before
Mm-hmm.
you married them. You marry who they are, not who you hope to be. How many people are trying to turn hopes into husbands? It don't work that way.
Yeah.
You're going to get who that man was and our woman, if you are vice versa, times 10. So if
Yeah.
that person was filled with goodness, marriage will bring more good out of them. But if that relationship was filled with on and off for 5 years, what you think your marriage is gonna be like? This is an
And
on and off.
And
You guys
so
had a
it's basically was that reflection. Yeah. I didn't
yeah,
never think about it like that. It's weird.
but most people don't.
Right.
Most people think that marriage is going to solve the problems. You think
Mm-hmm.
now putting that ring is going to stop that person from going on and
Mm-hmm.
off, but it doesn't. You may think putting that ring on that person's finger or them putting it on your finger is going to stop maybe infidelity issues or
Right.
disrespectful issues and this, that, and the other, and it doesn't. The thing about it is you dated a man for 5 years. You knew who he was, and you are getting exactly what you signed up for. So
True.
my question to you is, what are you going to do about it? If in 5 years there has not been much progress,
Mm-hmm.
because honestly, if y'all got married and things are getting worse, you're
Mm-hmm.
going to your trajectory is going the wrong way here.
Right. Definitely.
So, and you said it's off right now. Is he
It's
not in?
He's not in the house. The communication is low. We did talk about counseling and stuff like that, but I don't really think it's worth it anymore. But I do miss that, that how do because he did display that to me. So, but it does come a point where it's like, you have to move on and, but definitely the feeling, I know I wouldn't definitely date again, meet somebody again. I could get that feeling maybe better. I do believe in that, but yeah, you
But
know.
you want him though. You want him. Like it's
I
something
mean,
about him,
I wanted my marriage. I wanted him. Yeah, of course. But
but you still want him.
I don't just think it's possible. I don't think
You
it's
said
possible.
you don't think. Okay, did he leave or did you kick him out?
I kicked him out. And then
Why'd you kick him out?
infidelity on his part. Lying
Oh, a year into the marriage.
a year, but he claimed it was not. But you know how that goes. But in my heart, that's what I felt. So that's what I call it for sure.
So in your heart, you feel like he
That's what it
did.
was. Yeah, it was.
Okay.
It definitely was.
And you guys have had infidelity issues prior to getting married.
Well, just people that he was talking to in his past that I know for sure that was not going to bring anything healthy to our marriage, and so we just had those type of issues with people in his past and stuff like that. So.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. I'm all for marriages working out. To be honest, I'm a pro marriage type of person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a pro that person. But I'm also a pro reality person as well. So I feel like in this one, you probably have to find you a happy medium. Um,
Mm-hmm.
at this point, it seems like the ring didn't change the man, and you know what? It never really does.
It was a
So
really big ring. I really was. I thought it was going to do.
yeah, it don't change the person. So
Yeah.
here's my advice to you. Just I want you to assess the situation for what it is, not for
Yeah.
what you hope it would be. So
Not what.
what it is and not what you hope it to be.
Yeah.
All right. And then that'll help you make a better decision. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, girl. Hey. Oh man, let me tell you. Let me tell you something about these. Look. And I say this all the time, man. If you had a job, if you were an employer and you hired somebody on a 90-day probationary period, but in that 90-day probationary period, they quit on you 3 times and called you back 3 other times to get the job back. They no called, no showed 6 times. When they got there, they halfway did the job. Would you now offer that person the full-time position? No. Okay. During a 90-day probationary period, anybody that knows, or had a job or been in one, you got to be dang near perfect. Really can't call off. You got to show up. You got to have at it because technically you're not hired yet and you have to earn being hired. My question to you ladies, and then the men that are watching, is why are you not doing that when it comes to dating? Why are you giving chance after chance after chance to people that can't prove that they can pass the probationary period? And then let alone getting to a point of marrying this person. All right. And it goes back to our need to hope. Some will call it like, your friends will look at you like, girl, you knew, but because you hoped things would get better, you act on that hope instead of what is presently happening, which is your reality. So I want everybody to understand that. So who's next? Who got a question? Who next? Raise your hand. Y'all don't be shy. All right. Beth, you up next. And make sure you guys keep your camera on. If your camera is not on, I got to kick you out of StreamYard. All right. I love you guys, but we got to make sure we have room. Beth, what's up? Talk to me. Beth, 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 you got to turn. Oh, did Beth leave? Okay, Beth left. All right. Who else got a question? Raise your hand. I can see y'all seeing me. Amy, you got one? Amy, talk to me. What's up?
Hi. So I have a boyfriend that I've been with a year and a half, and I mean everything's good, really good in our relationship, and I know like he really does love me. I mean, he goes out of his way, he picks me up like an hour, like he lives an hour away, he'll pick me up, take me out, drive an hour I was late to take me home the next day, so on and so forth. My only like issue is that he's very, very independent. Like he's been like single, like has had a girlfriend and stuff, but he's like in his 50s and he's been single his whole life. And like he'll plan like trips. Like this weekend, he's going to some like jam band thing for 3 days and kind of booked it without even like telling me about it.
Oh, Amy, you still there? You breaking up? Oh, Amy. Do y'all still? Oh, I think I lost Amy. This is about to get good. Oh, that was about to get good. I hope she come back. All right. Anybody else got a question? Yeah. So y'all just gonna be looking at me today. April, you got a question? April look like she busy. Ray, you got a question? Yeah, raise your hand. Do this with your hand. Ray, do you got a question?
No, I don't have a question right now. I don't have a question right now.
All right. All right. So look. So I'm gonna have to get some moderators. Look, if you are in StreamYard, this is where you can see me and I can see you, and you do not have a question, hit the YouTube link next time, okay? Because you guys, it takes up spots from people that do have questions. So if you're not ready to get called on, do not be where you can. Don't be on StreamYard, you guys. Is that fair? All right, we good? Listen, I'm gonna get a moderator for next time. All right, Beth, you ready? Beth, talk to me. What's up?
Hi.
I feel like have I talked to you before or no? This is our first time.
No, it's our first time.
Hey, what's up? Talk to me.
So my husband and I have been together for almost 13 years total. We've been married for 4. For the last couple of years, we've been having an issue with him looking at booties on Instagram. So we've talked about it. A couple of weeks ago, I found out this girl that he used to work with was sending him close friend stories on Instagram, and she was kind of hitting him up in his DMs. When I asked him about it, he lied. I pulled out the receipts. He finally confessed, but said that he never did anything with her, never touched her, and he didn't know that those stories were going straight to him. He thought it was just a story on her Instagram. My question is, how do I get him to stop looking at other booties?
I don't know. That's hard. Hey, Beth, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's hard. I mean, booties be all over Instagram. Every time I go to my For You page, all I see is some booties. I don't know what you,
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's a loaded question. And I'll tell you one thing. A lot of the married men I know, it'll be booties on their Instagram as well. But what I will say is, so let me ask you this question, Beth. All right. So would you have a problem if your husband watched pornography?
If we're watching it together, I do not.
But he can't watch it.
If he's doing it by himself, that's a problem. We have a very open communication. We've always been really open with each other. So us sitting down and watching porn, that's fine. Him scrolling through his For You and a booty pops up and he says, "Oh, look at this," that's fine. But you actually going to, searching for twerking videos and things like that on your own, that's what I kind of have the problem with.
So here's the thing. Because you guys are married and because it's obviously uncomfortable for you, That just has to be a conversation. But here's the thing. I feel like you've talked about this probably many times, correct?
Yeah.
And it just probably doesn't change, correct?
Correct. He'll stop for a couple of weeks. He'll delete all the booties off his Instagram, and then slowly they trickle back in.
So, the reason I'm laughing is because even if I get married, it's probably gonna be some booties on my Instagram. I mean, it just is what it is. Like, hey Beth, this whole we gotta watch porn thing. I mean, for y'all, that's probably cool, but that's my own personal time here. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is my own. Like, I get it. Like, ladies, sometimes like. Beth, this ain't about your problem. This is just me being in general. Like, let's say you got you a little toy, a drawer toy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can only play with it when I'm around. Like, what? No, this about, I do it. And so I think it's levels. And so for you, if you're uncomfortable with that level of, seeing stuff on Instagram, then I understand that. Because I imagine there's a lot of women that's uncomfortable about that. I'll tell you this, as a man that's dating, I'd probably make it obvious and blatantly known that, I look at porn sometimes. I mean, I'm not about to be checking I'm a grown ass man. I'm not about to be checking if it's okay with you. Now, if you got a problem with it, you know what I'm saying? Cool. I probably wouldn't get close to you. But the thing I think in you guys' situation is, and I'll say this, has he always, well, Instagram is pretty new. Y'all have been together 13 years. But has he always kind of had that eye to look other places, you think?
No.
It just recently developed?
Yeah, it's like been probably over the last few years.
I don't want to say it's Instagram's fault. Listen, ladies, I'm not saying it's Instagram's fault. But I'll tell you, right now, all you see when I scroll on my For You page is booties and shoes. When I go to TikTok, all I see is them bow, 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 bow. I don't know if you got TikTok. That's all I see. It really be the algorithm. So what happens is if he like one of those or pay attention too much to one of those pictures, more of them will come. Do he follow the accounts? Is he following the booty account?
He was. He was following them also. So he and that's the thing, like if they pop up on your For You, I mean they pop up on your For You, what are you going to do about it? But when you're actually following them and going to the page to see what this girl posted today,
I mean, okay.
And my biggest thing is I don't look like that, so I don't have the big ass. So
okay, so here's the thing, y'all, ladies. She is asking a man about this. Okay, so okay. All right, let me give you some tangible advice before I give you just some other stuff to think about. Tangibly, I think because it's uncomfortable for you, he should be willing to modify his behaviors. Because really, what's more important, random booties on the internet or making sure your wife is happy? And I imagine that he's shrewd enough to know that the latter is more important. Sometimes, though, it is some addiction there. You know what I mean? And it may be that he needs to get professional help with this. If he in his head is knowing that I really want to stop, but I can't, and despite my efforts, I'm still doing this and I'm risking my family, then he should be willing to open himself up and say, hey, I got to go get some help about this, because the last thing you guys want to do is let this ruin an otherwise pretty good marriage. All right. So that's the first thing. Secondly, for you, I can understand your insecurities about it, because you're like, okay, why do you feel like you have the need to look at these other things? And then you're like, okay, how would you feel if never mind, I ain't gonna get there, but why would you?
No, and I went there. What would you do if you opened up my Instagram and all you see is abs and
yeah. But and so in you guys' relationship, those are the boundaries that you guys have a great understanding about, and he's not respecting the boundaries that's within your comfort level. So that is a conversation you have to have, and maybe see if he's open. Because I'll say this, I mean, I'm not going to say it's as far going as a sex addiction, but it sort of is. It becomes that dopamine hit that you get. You know what I'm saying? Like, you look at something, it immediately triggers something, and it becomes something that, again, becomes an addiction. So I will look at it that way, and I do hope that it gets better for you all. Because just like you're saying this, you're not, I promise you, the people watching right now, I imagine that there are many women that's like, why is my dude looking at these asses on the internet? Okay. Now what I will say, the flip side, ladies, okay, so that was my ace metaphor advice. This is just my other advice that has nothing to do with Beth. It's just some ass. You feel me? Why? I'm just a guy. I'm a guy, ain't I, Beth? You know, it's just some random ass on the internet. That's a hard fight to fight. That's all I'm saying. It's just, you know, that's a hard battle to fight, because I mean, it's just some ass on the internet. But it might root from it. It roots down deeper for you, because I think you mentioned something that was, you know, important to this conversation. You like, well, you're looking at women that don't look like me. You know, I don't have these particular features. And does that make you feel insecure a little bit, or less secure in his life?
A little bit. It's like, is that what you want? You want, you know, a big booty woman?
Well, okay. Let me ask you a random question. So, okay, not you, Beth, because I don't want to put you on the spot. ladies, okay, ladies. Okay, it's a question I got in one of my card games. It's like, your husband finds your sex toy and he throws it away because he feels like it's too big. And he tells you you're not allowed to have a sex toy bigger than him. Would you feel like he's being reasonable or unreasonable in that situation? Beth?
I would think he's being reasonable.
So you would be okay with a man telling you the size of the sex toy you're allowed to have?
Yes.
You would?
I mean, I'm lucky that my husband is, you know, well endowed, so I wouldn't have that problem.
That's not the case. The case is because no matter how endowed somebody is, I don't walk into these sex shops, Beth, and I've seen motherfuckers. The motherfucking things be the motherfucking. What the? What are you doing with this? What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm like, who buys this? It don't even have dust on it. It looked like they just ordered a new one because somebody bought it last week. So I guess my point is, it's crazy. Sexuality is a spectrum for a lot of people, you know, and if you define your comfortability level a certain way, then I feel like he should respect it. The other alternative is people are adults, and if this isn't deal breaking cheating, or you don't think he's really going to be acting on something, you got to ask yourself, is it worth the fight? If it is, cool. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Like, if I found a sex toy,
I think and I think that the turning point was the coworker sliding in his DMs, and he's looking at her booty too. I didn't know she was a coworker. I thought it was just, you know, one of the random booties that he had on his Instagram.
Hey,
and so it's like, now he's going to the next step. Now it's real life women that he's looking at the booties, not just, you know, the Instagram models.
Man, I'll tell you, ass gets men in trouble all the time. That's a hard boy. Ass boy. I be at the gym and somebody walk past me. It's something I can't help. Shit, I don't know. But I feel you though. And I hope you take the serious advice I gave you, not me playing around. Okay. I was just playing around half the time. But the serious advice, I think that'll work for you guys. All right.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Peace. Hey, listen. Let me say this though. I gotta say this. I got to say this. For me, those are fights I wouldn't want to fight. Like, I couldn't see myself being upset or even knowing that the person I'm with is looking or following abs and male models on Instagram. I wouldn't know. You know what I'm saying? If she watched porn, I wouldn't care. You know, she had a little sex toy on the top aside and she played with it when I'm not there, I wouldn't care. I actually think that's rather healthy. And the reason I say that is, you know, I've had my own alone sexy time. You know what I'm saying? All my life, all my, you know, teenage adult life, I've had my own personal sex time. You know what I'm saying? Now we got together and now we shared sex time. And I like our sex time together. Don't get me wrong. I like having sex with you. You like having sex with me. But I don't like that being the only form of sexual stimulation that I get. Because here's the thing, ladies, I know y'all gonna look at me funny, but no matter how dope you are, man, old lefty, old motherfucking lefty, oh shit, old lefty, boy, you know, it's kind of hard. I ain't never met a woman that's more efficient than old lefty, okay? And so even in relationships, I feel like these are the things you guys have to discuss prior to getting committed, because honestly, you don't want to get in this committed relationship and find out that he still masturbates even though you guys are having sex. You know, he'll masturbate on Tuesdays and Thursdays and shit. You know, you might have a problem with that. Fella, the same thing. You find out that she like playing with the little toys. And let me tell you something, ladies. Yeah, them little toys do too much. They rotate, gyrate, stimulate, pulsate, 3-4 different speeds and shit. It's too much. Too much. It's too much. But you're gonna find out she might have one. And so how would you feel about that? And then even when it comes to Instagram and stuff, like, you know, most men are smart enough to hide a little bit. You know, I ain't gonna have ass all up in my news feeds. So the fact that she knows about it just means he a little sloppy with his. But I just really think a lot of guys that got Instagram accounts may see ass, you know, on a regular basis. And I admire the ass. I'm like, oh, nice symmetrical ass. I like that ass. I might even throw it a like. Yeah, I like that ass. But I don't mean I want to go find and have sex with her. I think that takes it to another fact. And then another thing that people are doing nowadays, you got to watch out for, is OnlyFans. Now, I'll be honest with you, ladies. I do have an OnlyFans account. Okay, y'all can follow me at onlyfans.com/Ace Metaphor. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're not grown, don't come on my OnlyFans, ladies, because I don't want to. Y'all be like, it's a mix between motivation and dick. It's like it's a healthy mix. So if you guys, now I'm just playing with y'all. I ain't got no OnlyFans. However, I've followed some OnlyFans before in my life. $7 is worth it. Shit, I don't know. My point is, the internet is making things different. So I really encourage you guys to have these conversations with your prospective significant other. Engage with their comfort level is. Because I'll tell you one thing, if it were me, you know, and I'm dating before thinking about getting a committed relationship, I just would think it was petty if somebody brought it up to me. But that's the type of person I am. I guess I'm more cool with my sexuality, you know. Now I don't want you to think I'm about to be smashing other chicks, and I don't want to think that you about to be, you know, with your coworker doing some nasty shit behind the desk after hours. But if you follow Insta model or something, it ain't gonna bother me. But there's two veins of people, because I'm reading the comments right now. There are people that's like, that's vastly inappropriate. And then there's people like, you just need to be more secure with yourself. And so that's why you got to make sure you yoke with a person that feels the same way about this stuff as you do. I just don't, I mean, I just think it's healthy. Like, I watch porn. I think most people do. I mean, in my opinion. And so I don't want you tell me I can only watch porn we together. I enjoy porn more myself. When we watching it together, I feel awkward. Like, porn is one of those things you're supposed to watch and look over your shoulder, like making sure nobody's seeing you do it. Like, that's what make it exciting to me. Like, I don't want to be watching it with you though. All right, next question. Who got a question? All right, Kelly, what's up? Talk to me. Hey, you got to unmute your mic.
Okay, I think I did it right.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, I did have a question actually. I just recently started dating someone, and I know the topic of today's show is, how do you know if someone loves you? But we're not quite there yet. But
Okay.
I guess I need a refresher course because it's been a minute. I've kind of taken myself off the market. Recently, I was engaged. The last time we actually spoke, I was telling you about it. My ex-fiance, we broke up and all that. So I'm kind of getting back into the dating world a little bit, and came across this guy, really nice guy. He is of the Caucasian persuasion, which to me, it does add a lot as far as the relationship and the way the relationship goes. Because I've dated black men, I've dated Spanish men, and most recently I've dated white men, and there is a big difference. But I'm trying to understand really, how do I know for sure if at the very least he's continuously interested? Because sometimes you have these guys that come in your world, they come in your face, and they seem interested, and then out of nowhere they just fall off the face of the earth. And I'm not one to internalize that and be like, well, what did I do? Because at the end of the day, you are your own person, so you up and leave, you up and leave. But it does hold you up with the next time a person crosses your path. And how do I know? And I don't want to, I've caught myself a few times with this gentleman making little comments like, he likes my humor. So he'll, make a joke, and I'll be like, oh yeah, it's okay for now, and until you just aren't, I do catch myself, and sometimes, and then he'll kind of make a joke out of it and be like, no, it's,
Kelly,
yeah.
Kelly. First of all, here's the thing, and I say this all the time: you got to date from your self-worth and not your self-doubt. There's nothing sexy about self-doubt oozing through your pores to the fact that you're gonna be like, for now, how long you gonna stay around? People leave. Nobody, men don't respond well to that. Okay. And I said this before, men respond well to competition. They respond well to a woman they feel as if has options. And when you are putting yourself out there as if no one's staying around, then that's not what a man typically responds to.
Yeah, because then it's gonna make him,
and then, but getting back to your core question is, you don't know if this man gonna be around in 8 months. You don't know if you had met Jesus, he might have not have been around for 8 months. If you met him, 2 days before he was about to die. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's no guarantee that someone is going to always be around. And what you have to do is get out your head and not live in that space of what if, and live in the space of what's happening now, so that you can be focused more on reading the signs to see if this person deserves another day. He may mess around and don't deserve your time no more. So you need to keep your head in the game. Here's the thing. I mean, just to give you a sports analogy, ladies, I know
don't
y'all
use sports analogy. I don't know sports.
I'm about to give you a sports analogy. All right, because this is just, it's like you're in a playoff series. You're in the most important game of your career, but you're worried about what's going to happen 2 years from now in this game or that game. And so what happens is your head is not concentrated or focused on what you need to be focused on. And here's the thing. In this relationship or this dating situationship you have with this man, are you giving him a fair shot? Or are you punishing him for things other people did? That's the first rhetorical question. The second thing is, when you talk to him, when you date him, does it feel like giving him another week is a good idea? And this is what I want you ladies to do. Date on a week by week basis. You know what I'm saying? On a week by week basis.
I go day by day because I'm too old. I don't feel like it.
Yeah. So the fact that you're thinking a year ahead right now, and you're making these comments and this, that, and the other, it's putting too much forethought in it. but then you're not even manifesting a great reality. It'd be different if you put positive vibes about the future out, because then you're attracting a positive outcome. But you're putting negative vibes out, which
I do put. I'm sorry, I do put positive vibes. I don't want to give you that impression. It's because I this is why I wanted to talk to you, because I do think I am on the right track of what your advice is to slow it down a little bit. You know, don't put so much pressure on it being anything. So that's why I do kind of take it day by day. And I do catch myself. I don't try to, you know, make it seem like I'm wanting it to go somewhere, even though I'm a person, I'm prone more so to relationships. I don't like the dating. I don't like the people and the different people in and out of my face. I don't like that.
Nobody do. Look, let me leave you with this. I'm gonna leave you with this. First of all, dating can be difficult. We all know that, right? But it's like certain things isn't worth worrying about. There's more important things to worry about. If I was going to worry about something, it'd be something that I can't live without, like money or a roof over my head or a job or my savings account or something like that. But men to me are just not a good use of worry unless that man is your fiance or husband. You know what I'm saying? Because
and even then, barely.
You said it again?
I said, and even then, barely.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's not a good use of worry. So I would, unless someone shows you signs that they're not worth that investment, you gotta be able to give people a basic level of trust. Trust enough not to say, because imagine how he feels when you say something like that. You know, that doesn't feel good.
Hear it in his voice. Yeah,
it doesn't feel good. And then, you know, again, it comes from just healing to a place where you can date and give people equal footing, a basic level of trust, and then also being able to send those positive vibes. And I get what you're saying. You like, well, I do put positive vibes out, but you can't put conflicting vibes.
Right.
What if this man said to you, yeah, you know, next year, he say some shit like, next year we should go on a cruise. And then you in your head, like, okay, he got a forethought, but then a week later he talk about, you know, well, if we last that long, then it's conflicting. Like, do you believe we gonna last that long or not? And I'll tell you this, sometimes we give more weight to whatever that negative manifestation is than those 10 positive things people said. So that's why it's important for us to just put good things in the air. And I think you got it. So look, just don't worry. Because again, men are not a good use of worry if you just date them. Because here's the thing. The reason why I got so many followers, because no one understands men. And you know why? Because men are confusing. Men are confusing. Okay? They just are confusing. So if you're trying to figure out why men do what they do, it is not a good use of worry. Okay? So just control what you can control, which is how you perceive the relationship, the things you see, react to red flags if you see them, but continue to be positive, continue to be light. Because look, a man will want someone with the ability, the right man. Now, I'm not talking about these toxic ass niggas. I'm talking about the right man. The right man wants someone who is positive, light, that can help speak life into them when they're down. And you show that quality when you're dating. But if you're dating from self-doubt with yourself, then how would that man feel confident that you can really believe in him enough if you're not even showing it right now? All right. So go ahead and do your thing, Kelly. I appreciate you talking to me.
Thank you.
All right, peace. Now look, y'all. Look, I'm a man, right? I'm a man, right? And I love men. You know what I'm saying? I love my dudes. I feel like men are great people. Just feel like men are confusing. You know what? Half time, I don't know what the fuck I want. And the thing about it is when men and women typically get in these relationships, I've found that women tend to commit more sooner, take themselves out the market well before guys do. And the brunt of consequences from a relationship tend to skew unfairly towards the woman. So like she carries more of a burden even after the relationship, whether it's if you guys had children or whether it's, because she was more deeply invested, she's more hurt. So I said all that to say this, like, I wish I could say this better. For all the guys watching, I know you might not like what I'm about to say right now, but you're gonna understand. Ladies, these dudes ain't worth it. They ain't worth it. They ain't worth it for real. The majority of the men you're going to date in your life or have sex with in your life and be in situationships with, we're not worth it for real. Now there's a level of reciprocity that you should expect in a relationship. But as far as getting to the point before someone has earned your exclusivity, earn the right for you to be worried about them, should be where their actions and their intentions is on par with a staple position in your life. And if not, why are you worried about these niggas that I'm telling you ain't really worried about you? You be worried about the fact that that they ain't worried about you like that. And I'm gonna be honest with you. The one thing I can tell you, men, when we fall, though, let me say this. When we fall hard, though. When we end up loving somebody, like for real, oh shit, we fall hard. But it take a while to get there. That's why when you guys be so confused as to how men can move from relationship to relationship to relationship, or they can just walk away from some shit, yada, 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 and then come back and think nothing, like they do some dirty shit to you, be gone a month, and then text you like nothing happened. It's because the way a lot of us are wired, man. We aren't really taught to connect to our emotions as much as we should. We are taught to be more competitive than considerate. And before y'all think that these are horrible things, these are things that you typically are attracted in a man. Think about it. Think about it. Dude to act like he don't give a fuck, that's the guy you like the most, right? I mean, you don't want to like him the most. You want to like the nice guy that's promising you the world and that's gonna do right by you, and that's been your friend for the last 5 years and shit. But ain't nothing sexy about that guy. Don't nothing get your gears turning about that man. Every one of you guys right now, not everyone, some of you guys, you just ain't got dudes like that. But every girl that be getting dudes, y'all got a dude right now that if you agreed to be in a relationship with him, he'd be okay with giving you all the things you say you want from a man. Every one of y'all. But he don't look the way you want him to look or some shit like that. Or he just is too available to you. I'm telling you, in my professional opinion, you guys, I used to thought around a lot. I used to thought around. The women I gave more attention to, I got the least from. The ones where I acted like I didn't act like I didn't care. I actually didn't care. That's fucked up. Y'all do the same thing, so don't judge me. Quit judging me. You be going out with these dudes you don't even think is cute just because you want some Red Lobster. So stop it. Stop it, ladies. Y'all do y'all own shit too. You ain't even trying to get a date. You just hungry. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not? He asks you want to do something Friday. You got to see what y'all supposed to be doing first before you say yes or no. You're like, let's hang Friday. What you trying to do first? If he say some shit like Red Lobster, you be like, I'm cool. Let him say there's some steakhouse and shit. You be like, all right, yeah, steakhouse. Not everybody. I'm talking about the women that actually get a lot of male attention. So, some people don't get male attention at all. That nigga asks you to go to Applebee's, you like, shit, let's go. But I guess my point in saying this is there is some attractiveness, and I can't explain it. It's probably somebody that's way smarter than me that wrote a book about it. There's some attractiveness to people that don't like us as much as we like them. And it's like we pour more in those people because I don't know if it's like we want to validate our worth. Like, you're not going to reject me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what it is, but every time in my life I've like been on that vulnerable, damn near simping level with a woman. Oh, I got no play. Oh, I was the friend, the shopping buddy guy. Fuck that. And then when you acting like the bad boy, the person that ain't available, don't really care that much, now you're getting the attention. And here's the thing, honestly, for men, it's the same way. The women that typically throw themselves at men, I mean, I guess those not the ones they typically fall for. It's the ones that they didn't think that they could get. The woman that everybody wanted, and they just the challenge girl. So I guess what I'm saying is I just think that's the psychology of dating. And I don't even think nothing's wrong with it. You know, I don't think it's nothing wrong with it. I think it's just biological. But what I would say is for a woman, you'll get more out of a man if he thinks you has options, if he thinks you're confident, if he thinks you are willing to walk away at a drop of the hat, you know, not over stupid shit, but he know you can walk away. You'll get better results from that man. Just like the man that you approach and you know that he got other options and there's other women that would do X, Y, and Z. That man get the best out of you too. I don't think it's nothing wrong with that. You know, I just think that's the way shit is. Lastly, and I'm gonna get who else got a question? Anybody else got a question? Do your hand like this. Y'all just looking at me. That's cool. I ain't want to talk to y'all anyway. They just looking at me. Nobody want to talk to me. Fine, I ain't want to talk to y'all. I ain't want to talk to y'all no way. Nah. Forget y'all. No, I'm just playing. But but here's the thing. I was talking about this in the gym, so I guess I'll use the remaining time to talk about this. I was talking about this in the gym, and I want you guys, ladies, I want your opinions about this. We were talking, it was a deep conversation, so I'm gonna just give you a slither of what it was about. But we were talking about men and women, and when it comes to child support and equal time with a child. One of my boys, he's going through it with his baby mom and yada, yada, yada. And he just feels like the system is not fair. He like, man, I only get to see my kid, you know, every other weekend and then one day during the week. And I'll hit her up like on a day that's not mine. And I only get what? 3 days, three days for every 10. And it's like, if I hit her up on a day that's not mine and I want to take him to a game or this, that, and other, she's telling me no. And in his mind, obviously, he feels like he's a good dude. And I think he's a good dude too. But anyway, so that's what sparked the conversation about child support. Talked about, you know, you know, equal time with children, yada, 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 yada. And I know this is a sore spot for women. So I'm a total lightly. So here's where I come. Here's my opinion. Then I'm gonna get to what I wanted to talk about. So my opinion has changed over the years about that. I feel like custodial parents are important for stability. So I feel like if you have a child with someone that you're not in a relationship with, I do feel like having a more home place, a home base is important. I feel like for a child to split equal time every week over this person's house and then the next person's house can be confusing, and it can be some. But this is what I said, and I want to know if y'all agree with it before I move to the point I want to talk about. I think if both parents are able-bodied, right, willing and able, I think that boys should go with the men and girls should stay with the women. If both parties are willing. What are y'all opinion about that? I want you to put in the comment section. What's your opinion? Yay or nay? And what I mean by that is, I mean custodial parent. So if it's a young boy, he would stay with the father that's willing and able most of the time, then have his every other weekend or weekends with the mother. If it's a woman or a girl, she would stay with the mother most of the time and then have the other. What y'all feel about that? Yay or nay? Fuck no or hell yeah. Sound like a good idea. What y'all think? And if it's no, tell me why. Anybody got an opinion that they want to talk to me on the show about? No. No. Nobody got shit to say about that? Everybody like, hey, so I'm about to unfollow you. Talk about boys should stay with the fathers. I don't know about that. Well, I'm about to unfollow you. Somebody said no. Somebody said I agree. Yeah. If there's more than one child, absolutely not. Boys are mama's boys, girls are daddy's girl. No. Boys are closer to their mom. Yay, I do. Depends on the age. I have a 4-year-old. Yes. Somebody said that's how it should be. Somebody said. So anywho, so we were talking about that. And now obviously we was debating about how you can do it. But let's get to one of the subjects that we were talking about. And I feel like I agree with him as well on this point. And I want y'all to give me y'all honest opinion. Please, honest opinion. I feel like women have sex with men. I think, no, here's what I'm saying. I feel like women are more sexually attracted to men that don't show fatherly qualities. I don't mean that you would want to be in a relationship with him, but the guy that's the bad boy, the guy that doesn't show you attention, the guy that gets all the girls, sleep around, those men typically have sex with more women than men that are good guys and maybe would be better fathers. I feel like the women that would say no to the previous proposal we said is because they wouldn't feel like the guy is a great father. I feel like there's a lot of women that don't feel like that the parent, co-parent, is a great father. Whether or not that's true or not, I feel like there's a pocket of women, I don't know if it's the majority, that feel like I'm uncomfortable with my child staying with him because I don't feel like he's a good father. And I feel like that's the reason why women would say no to the more fair time split. But in that case, why are women having sex with guys they don't feel would be great fathers? And vice versa. Why are men that don't want to take care of no damn kids having sex at all? So I think it's a deep conversation. I just think the good dudes get passed over so much. I feel that way. I don't feel like, and ladies, y'all let me know how y'all feel. I can be tripping. If y'all want to talk about it, come on my show. If you got a disagreement, hit the link in my bio. Come on my show and tell me about it. Raise your hand, I'll talk to you. But here's what I'm saying. It is not until, in my opinion, good niggas don't become popping until they in their 30s. When you a good dude, quote unquote, at 20, 21, 22, 24, you're getting overlooked a lot, in my opinion. Now, I ain't gonna say it's the vast majority, but most times in my particular life, most times it's later in life that I feel like women, it's closer to your late 20s, early 30s that women like, okay, these guys that I was having these flings with don't work out. So now let me try more traditional good men. And by that time, you've already had a kid with somebody that's not. So let's talk about it. What's your opinion? Anybody got an opinion on it? I got a couple more minutes in the show. Who want to talk to me? Who got a challenge for me? If you're on Instagram and you don't agree, let's talk about it. Y'all raise y'all hand. Somebody do this. Y'all just want to look at me. Nobody want to talk. On StreamYard, I can see y'all faces. You know I can see y'all faces, right? All right. What's up? Talk to me. Is it Vanetta? You got to unmute yourself. Yeah.
Oh my God. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh my God. All your lessons are always great. Okay. Mm-hmm. For me, this is like the stupidest stuff. I shouldn't even be saying this. I'm 48. Mm-hmm. I meet guys that's younger than me all the time. So it's like you said, the younger guys, they're like, I find like a lot of good guys that are younger. But at the end of the day, it's like, I can't bring you home. You may have went to school with my son. It's like,
hold on. So
I'm divorced. I've been divorced 11 years.
So you be younger. How young we talking?
Like 25. like when I'm like dressed and everything, and I'm like, yo, I don't even want to tell you how old I am because you might know my son. So at the end of the day, it's like that's out of my league. So I try to date within my league. Don't get me wrong, you had to pass people that want to come back and let's mend. If you burnt me once, you gonna burn me again.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you this question. All right.
I feel like crying. I'm talking to you.
No. I want to ask you the question because I want to keep it on topic. So, if think back to your early life, let's say 20s. Okay.
All right.
Would you say most of the guys that you talked to in your 20s would you now look back and say that they were husband material at the time?
No.
Okay. Now
maybe my first son's father. I have 2 sons.
Okay.
But he got immature as he got older. Like he was more mature when we were younger, but as he got older, it was like he went backwards.
Yeah. Okay. Well, all right. Well, I just wanted to ask that question and get your insight. And it's good talking to you too.
It's good talking to you, and you keep up the good work because you keep me sane. Trust me, I'm going through some BS right now with somebody 43. They act like they 12. So I'm like, I can't. It's like there's no way to date. You can't date up. You can't date down. You can't, because it's like the 43-year-olds are trying to. The 40-year-olds are trying to be 20 again. That's right, man. That's right.
My dog see another dog. Stop. Hold on. Here. Oh no, let me say this though, because I gotta say this. Hey, listen. It's not the 43-year-olds, because that's not all the 43-year-olds in the world.
Right.
There are more 43-year-olds. There are more 31-year-olds. There's more 50-year-olds. So what you have to do is say, okay, am I actively, intentionally trying to date or not? Are you actively trying to date and find something serious?
I think some days I want to and some days I don't.
All right, you got to make a decision.
I do. I do want to date.
You gotta. Okay, but you just gotta just have a consistent decision, because if you all right, I do want to date with the intentions on finding a committed relationship, correct?
Right. Yes.
All right then. So that's gonna take some work. Okay, it's gonna take some work, but it's harder when you hold on to people can't get there, or you're trying to push and pull somebody past the finish line, and that's just not what you should do. So my advice to you is you gotta know when to walk away when you're not seeing signs, and because it really becomes a numbers game. Ladies, the problem I find with a lot of women, it doesn't matter if you're older or younger, is that you guys find one person you think is halfway decent, and then you're ready to be exclusive until he absolutely fucks up. And that could take 6 months, a year. You know what I'm saying? I really
6
feel
months.
Date multiple people, keep your options open, allow people to fuck up, but not waste 6 months of your time because you was only focused on him, and y'all ain't boyfriend, girlfriends, y'all ain't engaged. Right. So do that and that'll work for you. Cool?
All right. Thank you. Right, love peace. You. Talk to you again.
All right. I really want somebody to answer this question though. So if somebody prepared to answer this question for me, if you disagree with my premise, let me know, because I'm putting it out there and I want to know what you think. My premise is that I feel like there is a pocket of women that date the more bad boy guy in their 20s, or have sex with more of those men in their 20s. By the time you're sick of those men, then nearing your 30s, you're like, okay, I'm about to find these good dudes. But the reason I feel that way is because a large percentage of the women that I talk to have children, but are not with the current partner. It's children that they had when they were 18, 19, 20, 21, 23, 24. And those relationships absolutely didn't work out. So my question is, do you feel like, let's put a number on it. Do you feel like the majority of women have children with men they do not feel like are good fathers? That's the premise. Argue that premise with me. So if somebody got a disagreement, put your hand up and let me know why. Nobody want to talk? Okay, we got somebody. All right. What's your disagreement?
I feel like I've been in an only relationship since I was 14, and I just got out of that relationship, and it's been with that person. So I feel like I don't agree with it because he is actually showed that good father figure right off bat.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Okay, so I'm saying the majority of women you know that have children, the majority of women that you know that have children, do you feel like they feel like their co-parents are great fathers?
The women I know, no, because I feel like they choose the wrong men early on, and they ignore the signs because they feel like it can work out. But I feel like if you look at that person's past history with relationships, then if it didn't work out with them, why would you think it'll work out with you?
Yeah, and that's how I feel. I feel like now that's what I'm saying. The majority of the women I know that had, and I dated, or actively was trying to date me when I was looking for a serious relationship, already had kids, and they were already, and I'm talking about kids, they were having kids 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, that pocket, and they're not with the child's father. And so, and then most of the women I know were raising those children pretty much by themselves as well. Is that your experience too? Or do you have most of the friends you know, or the women you know that are raising children? Do you feel like that the fathers are very active in their children's lives?
No. I mean, in my situation, it's completely different. I'm just one of those people that lucked up. It just pretty much ended. So I am starting to understand the single mother life, but I feel like majority of the women do choose the wrong type of guy. So it's not good parenting, and it's like they shouldn't even have brought the children even into that type of toxic relationship. So yeah, it is. I see what you're saying.
So okay. That's my point. So like, okay, so my point is saying that as a younger woman, the thought process isn't there. And I say this with even men. That's why men are having children. A lot of the men that are having these children are the same age of the women that are having the children. You're having the children 18, 19, 20, 21, 23, before 25, and there's no thought process into the things necessary to provide for this child, to live your life and be able to still focus on your passion, your purpose, and your own growth. I think there's an oversimplification of what's needed for relationships. So a woman and a man may think they're going to always be together, but we know that shit ain't going to work out. Listen, if you talk to anybody that's 30 plus, they'll tell you that the person you was with when you were 20, you ain't going to be with when you're 30. But what happens is we are creating these children so young when we are still children. And yeah, you luck up with it, but that man ain't proven to have fatherly qualities yet. You know what I'm saying? He's not grown into a man yet. He's 21. Now, you can be one of the fortunate people. And look, more men need to step up. So let's acknowledge that. But that boy don't know what he's doing. That woman that's choosing to have this kid with this boy, or that girl that's choosing to have this kid with this boy, don't know what she's doing. And so what happens is you go through those successive relationships with the wrong type of people, because I believe at 20 to 25, you're not dating with serious things in mind. You're willing to accept projects. So if the dude ain't got a job, you like, well, you know, we just 25. I mean, we 21. We still working on stuff. He ain't got a crib. Well, we still young. But those qualifications are needed when you decide to have a child or when you decide to be in these relationships. So I'm gonna let you go, but I feel like when we play house when we're young, we have children, and those children impact our ability to do certain things in life. And I know, you said you're a mother, right? So I know you love your kid. That's the best thing that's ever happened to you is what you would say. And I agree with that. Because listen, everybody I talk to, especially mothers with kids, are like, I wouldn't change it for a word. I know you wouldn't. But the first thing that people,
I'm sorry. I'm realistic though. I'm very realistic when it comes to that. Like, I love my kids, yeah, but if I could have waited off, I would have waited off.
Hey, listen. I mean, it's just statistics. It's proven that the later in life you have children, the more wealthy you become, the better off for them, actually. You know what I'm saying? When you're in stable relationships, you've been married to a person for 3 or 4 years before you bring. So there's some stability there. There's some sense of commitment between the mother and the father. So what has happened is we're bringing all these children in the world when there's no relationship between the mother and the father, besides a lot of times toxicity. Like I was talking to my mans, I'm like, yo, how do you expect y'all communication to be good if when y'all was together, y'all communication was horrible? You know what I'm saying? Y'all just don't communicate well. So now you got this child that you need to communicate about, but she hates your guts because of some shit you did. You don't like her. And then now y'all was controlling in the relationship. So of course now you got this child and that's the thing to use for control. And I mean, if I had to put my stamp on it, ladies, and I know for the vast majority of you guys, this is just going to sound like horrible advice because you've passed this point, but I'm speaking from my life. Being 32, I turned 32 in a month, actually. And I haven't had children. I want children, but I haven't had it. And, for me, when I look towards dating, children is something I take in consideration. Like, I don't necessarily want to date someone with children. And that's just me being real. I would, but that person had to be dope as fuck for real. You know what I'm saying? Like really, really, really dope. And so I feel like a lot of times when I talk to women on this platform, I feel like that's something I'm sensitive about talking about because I don't want to make someone feel like they're less valuable. But I also feel like a lot of the dating problems that women are having when they inch towards their 30s is a result of now also having children, that single men without children would be like, man, I don't know if I want to go down that route. So I would just encourage everybody, if you can, to wait as long as possible. But I thank you for joining me, all right?
Thank you for having me.
All right, peace out. Love your shirt. Yeah. Somebody said, would you have a baby with your lady? If I was married, yeah. Or if it'd have to be an accident. It would literally be an accident. It would be an accident. I'm not saying I'm above having a child before marriage. That's just not the goal. And I've been successful thus far. I've been successful thus far. So I don't want to pop up with a baby and y'all like, Ace, you a fraud. You said you wasn't going to have kids before marriage. That's the goal, but life happens. Luckily for me, well, not luckily, prophylactically for me, I haven't had those issues. I haven't had those issues at all. Like, let me tell you this. I'm telling you, when a nigga got shit to lose, you are careful. Like, see, here's the thing. Y'all be getting pregnant by these broke niggas. They ain't got shit to lose. I got shit to lose. Boy, you take me to child support, I'm gonna feel some type of way. Boy, they gonna get my ass. I ain't about to do that shit with nobody. For real, for real. I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? I love ladies. But I know how unfair the system is. And I'm not gonna set my I think that was my point when I was arguing today. I'm like, you know what the system is, and you're choosing to have children and getting mad when the woman is taking advantage of the system. She's gonna be the custodial parent. You knew this when you was fucking. She gonna put you on child support. Shit you can do about it. And so I know this. So my thing is, when I have a child, I mean, I want to be married, you know what I mean? Hopefully that marriage lasts a lifetime. But if it doesn't, I feel like, you know, your footing with that child and your position in that child's life is a lot different than if you just a baby daddy she claiming You ain't got no relationship with the child. And oh man, fuck that, man. I ain't on no see my kid every other weekend shit. That's some bullshit for real. I'm be honest with you. That's some bullshit. And a lot of it be tension between the baby mama and baby daddy. That a lot of it be that. Like think about it like this. And I know y'all don't agree. Fuck it. I don't care. But think about it like this. You mean to tell me I got to send you over $3,000, $4,000 a month to provide a lifestyle that child could have if it was living with me? That don't make no sense. But why don't the child just live with me? I'm telling you, niggas with a little money in their pocket just ain't trying to have no kids for real, like that. Now, it ain't that I'm like religious or sentimental. I'm just smart. I'm not about to be, hell nah. I got a long time in my life to have these kids, y'all. I ain't got to rush. Now, ladies, y'all be, your clocks is a little different. I ain't got to rush. Shit. And I think about it like this. I'm like, man, if I had a child at 22, 23, 24, 25, first of all, I can't even wrap my mind around that because my maturity level at that time, I just wouldn't have been able to be the greatest father. I wasn't the greatest person at that time. I think you do learn it speeds up your maturation process, but shit, imagine me if I had a child and let's say an extra $300 I had to spend on that child a month. And that's just child support probably. At the time, I wasn't making that much. So let's say it's $400 a month, which is still pretty good. I mean, not good, pretty cheap, but that would have been $300 to $400 less a month that I would have been able to put toward my dreams. And me putting that towards my dreams is what made me financially free as I am now. I don't think if I had a child that I would have been able to make the same decisions and steps and the investments that I made to be where I am now. And as much as I love kids, that kid at the time, because I ain't have them, wouldn't have been worth it. Now, me having a child now would be worth it. I have time to now take that child to a park. I ain't got to wake up and clock in. I ain't got to clock out. I ain't got to work doubles. I do what the fuck I want to do. I take my dog out to walk every day. If I had a child now, I'd be a pretty good dad. I got time. I'd take the child. Hopefully, I'll be this straight in 5 or 6 years, but I'd be able to wake up, drive my kid to school, pick my kid up from school. I'd be able to go to all the dance shit if I want to. But it's because I put in the work into this point so that I'd be able to really enjoy having a child and then be able to pass lessons because I have lessons to pass. My mother had me when she was 19 and I seen her struggle. I seen her struggle hard. And I didn't want to do that to a woman, because no matter what my intentions were, if I can't help her financially, she's going to struggle hard, unless she already got her shit going on. But shit, if I ain't have my shit going on, then women that got their shit going on typically don't mess with broke niggas that much, for real. At least not get pregnant by them. So I was just thinking, like, for myself, that to me was the best decision I made in my 20s, was to not have children. And I know y'all disagree because y'all got kids and you love those kids. You sentimentally tied to your kids, obviously. I mean, damn, it's more sentimental. But when you look at your money, your resources, you pursuing your dreams and shit, it has an effect. Now, you love your kids and you like it's worth it. Ace, you tripping. Them kids are worth it. All right. I ain't gonna argue with you. So in all, would I have children with my lady? That's the plan. I do want to have children. I'd rather have children when I'm married. But even now, if I decided to have a child right now, y'all couldn't say shit to me because my shit together. Now, granted, I didn't marry my lady before having a kid. If y'all want to say some shit about that, I never claimed to be religious. I never said I'm going to definitely wait to have kids. I never said none of that shit. So I don't want y'all trying to cancel me if somebody pop up and get pregnant. because I can afford a baby or two. So don't say shit about me. All right. Ace up there having kids and shit. He ain't married. I'm 32. If I want to have a damn kid, I'll grow. But I'm gonna wait till I get married, you guys. I love you guys. Thanks for rocking with me. Instagram, y'all can stay right there. For all my people that's on the StreamYard, I got a good memory. So text this number, y'all. If you on StreamYard, screenshot this number. 937-314-6974. If you're part of my text list, then you good. I'll remember y'all faces, and so next time I do this, y'all get a text message, and then I'll call on you guys first next time. Cool. I'm good with faces. Horrible with names. Good with faces. I love you guys. Talk to you later. Instagram, y'all stay right there.